Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Alexi and this is Soto-Tek. In this video, I want to do a specs comparison between the Galaxy A55 5G released in March and the Galaxy A54 5G released last year and see if it's worth upgrading or which one you should buy. These two phones coming from Samsung obviously have a lot of similarities, but also differences that could be deal breakers for you. So let's go through the most important specs. Let's start with the screen size, type and resolution. The Galaxy A55 has a 6.6 inches Super AMOLED screen with a resolution of 1080 by 2340 pixels. The Galaxy A54 has a smaller 6.4 inches Super AMOLED screen with also 1080 by 2340 pixels, both with a hole punch for the selfie camera and 120 Hz refresh rate. Both screens are equally good with great sharpness, vibrant colors, and viewing angles. In a nutshell, excellent for content consumption. Build quality. They are both made of glass back, which, for many, it gives them a more premium look and feel. But as I have said many times before, I personally don't consider that glass back makes any phone more premium. It just makes it more fragile. I much prefer the vegan leather I've seen in a lot Chinese phones lately, but that's me. The A55 has aluminum frames, and the A54 has plastic frames. I kinda prefer the flatter frames on the A55. I think it gives it a slightly better grip if you are crazy enough to use it without a case. On both phones, the power buttons and volume keys are on the right. The SIM and microSD card tray are at the top together with one of the microphones. At the bottom, one of the speakers, another microphone and the USB Type-C charging port. They both come with a speaker at the bottom and another one on the earpiece for stereo sound. To my ears, the sound on the A55 is slightly better, I must say. Let's do a quick speakers test. Storage. They both come with 128 GB of base model up to 256 GB, but different RAM configurations, from 6 to 12 GB of RAM on the A55, and from 4 to 8 GB of RAM on the A54, in both cases depending on the region. They are both IP67 water and dust resistant for a great peace of mind. Battery capacity. They both have a 5000 mAh battery capacity with support for 25 watts fast charging. Battery is great on both phones, including the standby time. You can expect both to last the whole day with moderate to heavy usage, and probably more, especially if you turn off the 120 Hz refresh rate. Unlocking methods. They both have the same unlocking methods, and in both cases, they work well with basically the same level of accuracy and reliability. In terms of OS updates, they are both on Android 14 with Samsung One UI 6.1. Not my favorite update, to be honest, mainly because of the unnecessary changes to the UI that don't necessarily makes it better or more fluid, on the contrary, but that's my personal opinion. When it comes to the processors, the A55 is powered by the Exynos 1480 and the A54 by the Exynos 1380. When it comes to performance on paper, the A55 is supposed to do better because the slightly more advanced chipset, but based on my own experience, I don't personally notice much of a difference, and I think the vast majority of people wouldn't notice it either, and should be happy with either phone in this respect. Let's continue with this quick speed and then RAM management test. When it comes to gaming, they are fine for most games. Once again, I'm not a big gamer and I don't really play too many high graphic games, like Genshin Impact for instance, but for most games, they both run fairly well, though they can get a little bit warm after long sessions of gaming with some occasional starters or frames drops, which is kind of expected. After all, these are mid-range non-gaming phones. Now, let's get into the cameras. In my opinion, when it comes to pictures, they are both good though. To my eyes, the A55 generally produces less saturated, more natural colors. When it comes to video, the quality is good on both in general, but slightly better on the A55, especially on the selfie camera. Now, where the A55 has a noticeable advantage is with the welcome addition of the 1080p 60 fps video stabilization on both the rear and selfie camera. Another advantage the A55 has is the addition of night mode for portrait pictures, something that Samsung could fix and add on the A54, but I doubt it will, sadly. To conclude, which one to buy if you are coming from an older model? Or should you really upgrade to the A55 from the A54? I personally think that the main factor to consider buying one over the other, or to upgrade to the A55 from the A54, it's related to the cameras, and only if you care about the additions or improvements I mentioned before. Another factor to bear in mind is the price. The A54 is cheaper now. Well, that's all for this video. What do you think? I'd love to know your opinion, so leave your comments below.
See you in the next one. Hasta la vista.